Hi everyone, it's Erica, and I wanted to check in. I have terrible reflection on my glasses, but oh well, I can't see without my glasses. I wanted to report a few things that I think I'm figuring out. Not that I have them figured out, but I think that I've started to. And I want to, first of all, thank Miss ACG, HCG girl, for your support and answering questions. And I think that's awesome that you're just there for us newbies while we're figuring this stuff out. So it was suggested by my dear Miss HCG girl that 17 was a high dose. I've been taking 17 injections into my fat of HCG, and I got to looking at my stats after thinking about it and doing some research on the internet. And really, I first of all started looking at some of the symptoms of having too high of a dose. And what I was seeing was they said dizziness, extreme hunger or more hunger, and then weakness and just feeling tired and a slowdown in the weight loss. Well, I had all of those things. It's so strange, and I just don't understand exactly what happened, but I have my stats here. So right now today I'm on VLCD18. My total loss is 11.5. But if you remember, if you're somebody that has looked at my other vlogs, I did an apple day before last, because I felt like I was stuck, and over the weekend I was sick. So looking back over that, we had Thanksgiving, and I did pretty well, and I was at 159.5. I had lost 8.5 pounds. I was scheduled to skip an injection the next day, but I was afraid. I'm always afraid if I don't do an injection, then what am I going to do? The hunger's going to overwhelm me, and then I'm going to eat. So I did an injection anyway. In fact, I went on the blog and said I wasn't going to, and then I changed my mind. And I got to thinking, because this dosage thing has really got me. I've been trying to figure it out. I was thinking when I did the injection, one of the things that scared me is I had hunger the day before, late into the evening, and I thought, well, maybe my dosage is not high enough, so I certainly don't want to skip it. And I upped it a little bit. I had been doing 15, and then I went to 17. And the manufacturer of the HCG that I get just suggests 17 for everyone, so that's what I started with. And then I was also confused about, well, how much water are you adding? Do you change your dosage for that? All confusing for me. But anyway, I'm trying to listen to my body and do the research and trust the women that have been doing this. So that day would be VLCD12. I was supposed to skip the injection, decided not to, and upped it a little bit. And that's where the trouble started, because that was on the 23rd, and the next day I was sick. Now I don't know, I might have still had a bug. I work at a food pantry. We deal with a lot of people that aren't able to take care of themselves, and we're around a lot of germs, and it was extremely busy before Thanksgiving. We gave away turkeys, and it was busy, 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 really busy. Okay, so I figured I caught something, but I was sick that next day after I upped my injections, and the illness, I thought that it was, and it might still have been a virus, where it was my stomach, my intestines. I just felt terrible, but along with it, I was really weak and I was tired. Then my weight kind of stalled. I had gone down during the time I was sick 1.5 pounds, and then I was back up. After 2 days of being sick, I was at 159.5, back at the same place. And then the next day I was just down 0.5, so I was at 159. And that's why I decided to do the apple day. It looked like a stall to me. It looked like I was bouncing around, maybe 0.5 back and forth, but I wasn't really going anywhere, and I decided to do that apple day. Now, coming off of being sick and raising my dose, the apple day was really hard for me, and I felt really weak and really hungry, and I kept thinking about food. And honestly, I feel silly saying this, but I don't have a lot of experience with hunger, right? For quite a while I've been letting myself eat when I want to eat. That's how I got to this. So sometimes when I was obsessing about food and thinking about things that I wish I would have eaten, like I wish I would have eaten it when I was loading, I was thinking, well, that's not really hunger because my stomach's not growling. But when the HCG dose is correct, I don't think the food is really is going to be as tempting. That's what I'm hearing. So I did the apple day, and I followed the instructions as far as I could understand them from pounds and inches, and I restricted my water too, unless I was really, really, really thirsty, which ended up to be maybe, I don't know, like maybe 4 ounces for the whole day. I saw a loss. It was 157 in the morning, so that was 2 pound loss. However, that day I stayed home from work because I was so weak. I felt the way that I did when my Hashimoto's was at its height and before I got my medication, when I could have just slept all day long. In fact, I almost slept all day long. Other than, guilt because I had to take the dogs outside, I slept, and that's about all I did on the 17th. So, then after seeing and with the help of Miss HCG girl and seeing the other stuff about the symptoms of a dosage that's too high, I decided, well, I think that the 15, I might have had hunger at 15 because the dose was too high then, and 17 I'm really experiencing kind of a stall, and I have been dizzy and weak, and I was sick, but I don't know if that had to do with the high dose. I'm not really sure. But anyway, what I did that I saw was recommended is to skip a dose to find out if your dosage is too high and you're experiencing hunger. You're supposed to skip a dose and see how hungry you are that next day. You'll actually feel better and less weak and less hungry because you didn't take an injection that day. So that's what I did, and I felt better today. I drank a lot of water too, which I'm rehydrating myself, but I felt like I had energy. The beginning of the day wasn't so much great. I felt really kind of dizzy, like I was in, when I was driving to work, I felt like I was in one of those tunnels that spins, and I almost pulled over for a little bit. But that went away after I drank more water throughout the day. I haven't been very hungry today. I've actually kept a journal today, hour by hour, pretty much, and there are times when I couldn't get to it, to keep track of whether I was hungry or not. And I decided to follow the protocol to the T, and that includes not eating breakfast. I just had coffee with the little bit of half and half that I was allowed. I did not um, give myself any wiggle room where I had been eating diet jello or Crystal Light that I thought was made with stevia. I looked at the ingredients and it isn't all stevia. So I just had the coffee for breakfast. That was it. And then when I did start to get a little bit hungry, about 10:40, because I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, I had my salad with only 4 ounces of chicken. And then a little while later, and oh, I should note this, I have it in my journal here, that what I'd been experiencing at 17 for sure, and a little bit at 15, is when after I ate, a big, it's kind of hard to explain, but kind of a big hollow feeling, like something like hunger, and I just wasn't satisfied. Well, I was much more satisfied. I didn't feel full and I didn't feel empty. About a half hour later, I still wasn't hungry, and then about 2 o'clock, I ate my apple, and I made a note that I was much less dizzy, and I had consumed 18 ounces of water and 8 ounces of green tea, and I had very little trouble concentrating, which that's been a problem for me for the last few days. Then I had class, and at about 6 o'clock when I got done, I had my salad, and I just felt satisfied. And I've had more energy, and I cleaned my kitchen, and haven't been dealing with any obsession for food, just kind of happy with the food that I have. So I'm definitely thinking that my dosage was too high, and tomorrow when I do my dose, I'm going to go to 12.5. I haven't tried that. Remember, I'm an alcoholic, so I always think more is better. And especially if I'm doing something to lose weight and I really want to lose the most, I'm going to give myself extra. But I'm going to keep following as closely to protocol as I possibly can and not modifying modifying it. And taking the 12.5 and see how that goes. I actually was counting the days. I'm going to do 40. Actually, the total will be, because I'm skipping once a week, the total will be 41 days um, of the low calorie, but we'll see. I have a total of 38 here. I don't know, of the injections. Yeah, because the last three I don't do injections, right? So 43 if I'm at 18. No, I only have 20 or so left, and I'm not going to be um, skipping the injection on Friday. I'm going to be doing it on Thursday because Fridays are hard for me. I don't know, right before the weekend, and people bring extra food in to work. Um, what else? Oh, I didn't get a pregnancy test yet. I always planned on it, and I didn't. So I'm going to do that tomorrow. And after I mix my new batch, I'd like to compare I'll get 2 pregnancy strips, and I'd like to compare the old one that is on well, it's really on the 23rd day of injections if I'm counting my load days. So, I mean, it's been mixed 23 days ago. So I'll compare that and see. It's not going to give me any numbers, but I can see if the line's darker. That'll be interesting. And that's it. Thank you very much for your support. Miss HCG girl, thank you very much. I I really appreciate you mentioning that 17 was a high dose, and um, I just think I was making myself really sick and probably would have stalled my weight loss for quite a while. So thank you. See everybody later, and I'm going to be checking on more vlogs. I did yesterday, but I have a lot of catching up to do. Bye.